The journey to self-reliance. Ethan's story. Under the vast sky of Montana, amidst endless golden wheat fields, there lived a young man named Ethan. At 20 years old, he had countless dreams but lacked the courage to take charge of his life. Since childhood, he had relied on other she's parents, friends, and even strangers. Whenever he faced difficulties, he waited for someone to help rather than solving problems himself. Ethan's father, Samuel, was a hardworking farmer, a man who had built everything from the ground up. Day after day, from dawn until dusk, he toiled on the land to provide for his family. He often told Ethan, "Son, life is like a field. You reap what you sow. Stop waiting for someone else to plow your land." But Ethan never truly listened. He had always lived an easy life. His parents took care of everything. His father gave him money, his mother cooked his meals, and his friends helped him whenever he got into trouble. He dreamed of success, wealth, and respect, but he never put in the effort to achieve anything. One autumn evening, his father sat him down and said, "Ethan, I won't be here forever to protect you. You must learn to stand on your own." Ethan laughed, unconcerned. "Why should I struggle when you are here?" His father simply smiled and replied, "Time will teach you." And time did teach him a harsh lesson, a harsh reality. One cold night, Samuel suffered a severe heart attack. He survived, but the doctor advised complete rest for at least a year. Suddenly, all responsibilities fell onto Ethan's shoulders. He had no one to rely on anymore. His mother, Margaret, though strong, couldn't handle everything alone. The farm needed tending, bills had to be paid, and food had to be put on the table. For the first time in his life, Ethan felt lost. Panic gripped him. He had never handled money, never worked in the fields, never made a tough decision. Desperate, he turned to his wealthy uncle for help. But the man refused. "You're not a child anymore. Learn to fight your own battles." His friends, who once laughed and enjoyed carefree days with him, had their own struggles. No one had time to fix his problems. That's when reality hit him hard. No one was coming to save him. Taking control, the next morning, Ethan stepped onto the wheat fields. His once soft hands soon became rough and blistered. His muscles ached from lifting heavy sacks of seeds. He woke up before sunrise and struggled to plow the land. He overwatered the crops, causing some to wither. At the market, he failed to negotiate prices, losing money instead of making a profit. Ethan wanted to give up. The exhaustion, frustration, and failure were overwhelming. He longed for the comfort of his old life where everything was easy. One afternoon, while resting under a red maple tree, Ethan noticed an old Buddha statue his father had placed at the edge of the farm. At the base of the statue, a simple message was carved. "No one can save you except yourself. Wake up." He remembered his father telling him stories about Buddha the prince who left his palace to seek enlightenment. Instead of running from suffering, Buddha faced it head-on. For the first time, Ethan understood. Suffering wasn't his enemy, it was his teacher. Starting over, with a new mindset, Ethan approached his work differently. Every mistake became a lesson. Instead of complaining, he started learning. He observed experienced farmers, asked questions, and studied books from the town's library about agriculture and finance. For the first time in his life, Ethan stopped waiting for help and started finding solutions. As weeks passed, he adapted. When the irrigation system broke, he didn't wait for someone to fix eyes, researched and repaired it himself. When he ran out of money, he didn't complain, he planted extra vegetables to sell. He learned how to save, invest wisely, and manage expenses. He no longer feared responsibility, embraced it.
The transformation. One morning, Samuel, now recovering, walked outside and saw his son working tirelessly in the fields. A proud smile spread across his face. "I told you, life is like a field. You finally started plowing your own land." Ethan nodded, no longer a carefree boy, but a man who had earned his place in the world. A year later, Ethan was unrecognizable from his former self. He had saved enough money to expand the farm and started a small dairy business alongside growing crops. His family no longer worried about finances, but more importantly, he had found purpose in his life. The final lesson. One evening, Ethan met an old friend who was still stuck in the same cycle of dependency. His friend complained about not getting a job, about how life was unfair, about how
The final lesson. One evening, Ethan met an old friend who was still stuck in the same cycle of dependency. His friend complained about not getting a job, about how life was unfair, about how he wished someone would help him. Ethan listened patiently and then said, "No one is coming to save you. The only person who can change your life is you." The 5 powerful lessons from Ethan's story. Self-reliance is freedom. Depending on others makes you weak. The sooner you take control of your life, the sooner you gain real power. Oh, no one is coming to save you? Family and friends might support you, but at the end of the day, you must solve your own problems. So failure is the best teacher. Ethan made countless mistakes, but instead of quitting, he learned from them. Every failure is an opportunity for growth. Hard work and knowledge lead to success. Success isn't about luck, it's about effort and continuous learning. Taking responsibility changes everything. The moment Ethan embraced responsibility, his entire life transformed. We all have our own fields to plow. The question is, will you take control or will you wait for someone else to do it for you?